This video is a 2-for-1 deal. I'm gonna give you guys a really cool point of view drive off-road with the Wrangler, and I'm gonna take you guys through an off-road course, and I want you guys to let me know if this off-road course is worthy for reviews on most cars. So let's get right into it. This week's giveaway highlight is a supercharged Silverado High Country and a Corvette Z06. If you're interested, use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment to get 4x bonus entries on any donation $25 or more. Now, quick side note, we're doing this course with a Wrangler that has 37-inch tall tires. Most of the cars that I will be testing on this course will have 33-inch tall tires, so the Wrangler will make mincemeat of everything, whereas literally any other vehicle is going to struggle a lot more through the course. Start of the course will be this relatively steep hill, and it's rocky. It's got a lot of gravel. It's got this ledge here that definitely tests the angles on a car, ground clearance and all of that. And so I think it would be kind of like a good drive-in for the off-road video. Just kind of pop in, and obviously I have to drive off-road just to get up to that. So starting the off-road reviews, I would have an idea of how the car performs getting into the review versus most of the reviews I start and I don't really have too much of an idea. But yeah, this is just rough terrain that I think is indicative of a lot of trails. Now this is cool because you can choose to go down the ledge or on the side here. So if a vehicle has enough clearance, you can go down the ledge. The Wrangler obviously has enough clearance. Or let's pretend it didn't, then I can go around. So it does give me kind of a little bit of a bypass if I'm worried about damaging a vehicle. And then this is the only part that I don't like is these trees have grown out onto the trail quite a bit. Now my cars, I don't care, but for a manufacturer car, it's not really gonna scrape the paint too much, but it might leave a little light bit of scratching. This is obviously gonna just show the turning radius off-road, if it's good or not. And then this trail right here is not high speed like a Raptor run, but most vehicles you're not doing Raptor runs off-road, right? And so this will give an idea of the suspension. You can see there's some bigger bumps like this. And the Wrangler handles it beautifully with the AEV suspension, the 8100 series shocks. But it'll give you an idea of, hey, how comfortable is the suspension on a car off-road? And this new GoPro seems to show you guys the movement that's happening with the vehicle quite well. So I think it actually will give you an idea of vehicle comfort a lot more. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a rougher road. And you can see these bumps and everything. The Wrangler obviously is going to be able to go over it just fine, right? It's got tons of articulation. But for a lot of cars, this would be a bit more of a challenge. So a little bit of a steep hill. And then here's another one. Now again, these are only in the 20-degree range. This is like probably 15 degrees. I've done enough off-roading that I can just kind of look at something and know, which is nice. I can go, oh, that's steep, that's not steep. So I think this here is another good test of the suspension on a car, the articulation. Now this one's my favorite. So this is a 30-degree incline. And what I'm thinking with this is can kind of come down and then just shoot around here. It's through some gravel and then go up the 33-degree incline. And that will hopefully test the grip of a vehicle quite well. Gotta love that exhaust. It says the AWE exhaust on it, and it is really good sounding with the V8. And then here's more kind of suspension compression. And then this leads us to another climb. So you can see it gets kind of off camber. again, off camber. And by the way, this sway bar is connected. So far we've been able to do everything in four-wheel drive high. Some vehicles in some of those obstacles, it's going to be four-wheel drive low. Now this last one is a rock garden, so it should be in four-wheel drive low. And we'll disconnect the sway bar. So this right here is the rock crawling. I've obviously taken vehicles through this, but I think this would be a good closing point for the off-road reviews at the end of that whole course. And I'm interested to see after I'm done with the Wrangler how much time this actually took to go through. I will say the Off-Road Plus is actually having to work quite a bit. Even though we've got 37s, it's slick enough. And this is the nice thing about Wranglers is the suspension does handle quite a bit, but there is a lot of movement in the body too with the Wrangler. So that does kind of change things. Now this is where with a lot of vehicles, you know, you do the diff locks. So we can just quickly lock those. Now our diffs are locked. And we come up. And then we transition onto the next rock. Kind of comes down a little bit. And boom, I think I actually touched a little bit there on the diff. I got a diff protector. So that part's done, and then we'll unlock the axles for that part. And then the final part of the off-road reviews will be this last little hill climb. And I think in the vehicles, if I haven't used four-wheel drive low, except for the rock crawling obviously, then use four-wheel drive low in this section just to see how the gearing is up a steeper incline. And the Wrangler's obviously got extremely low gearing, so it'll be able to handle this just fine. And you got some big rocks, so if a car has pathetic tires, might puncture something. And it's rough terrain again. I think a big part of off-roading with modern cars is a lot of them can get up the obstacles, but how comfortable are they going up the obstacles? And rocky roads like that really show you suspension comfort. And that's it. Let me know your thoughts on that course.